Well, hey everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope y'all had a good hump day out there. Woke up to cold temperatures here. It was about 29 degrees this morning. That's below freezing. I don't know my Celsius exact numbers, but pretty cold. But I'm enjoying it. I know people sitting up north going through these ice storms, they're ready for spring to come, but we have crazy hot summers here and they last a long time. They're about 5 months long, so I'll take this cold as long as I can get it. Today I want to talk about creating versatile low-fat raw vegan recipes, and I got two bonus recipes for you. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you have not already subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you go down and hit that red subscribe button now, then click on the little bell and then check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Made a little recipe just a little while ago, and I've got another one in the works, and I said I should share this one. Actually, I knew I was going to share it. It wasn't that spontaneous, but in fact I knew I was going to share it, so I went and made this recipe this morning just so I'd have a nice little visual aid. And I've got some ingredients in the works for the next one. One thing I like about recipes, listen, people are always asking me about recipes, how to, this, that, and the other. I'm not your recipe guy. I used this analogy a while back. It's like I'm your side piece. I'm your dude on the side. I'm not your main squeeze. If you're coming to me for your main squeeze for recipes and stuff, you're gonna get frustrated because that's not my forte. I've picked up some skills from it and I can feed myself, and I damn sure make good creations that I enjoy all the time, but I'm not one of those that can just step into the kitchen and just start creating stuff. So when I get something that's versatile, I'm like a dog with a bone. I don't let go. I use it. One of the first recipes that I learned this from, and I've got, you can just search recipes on my channel, but it's basically easy, is my mango and red pepper recipe. That's the first. Well, that one I actually stumbled across myself. Sometimes I go from other people's recipes and just adapt them like I want, but the mango red pepper was the first one. I kind of just stumbled across that combination, and I just found, wow, that was about the most versatile one I found yet, because I could just start with that base of mango red pepper. Sometimes I would use smoked paprika, sometimes I would use chili powder, sometimes I would use a little bit of curry, sometimes I would use a tablespoon of tahini for a little bit of creaminess, sometimes I would use 2 for more creaminess. But there were so many different variations, throw this spice in there, this, to where you could keep it fresh, and you keep using sort of the same recipe, but you don't get tired of it by using the same exact version over and over and over. Similar to with mango and coconut. I never get good coconut around here anymore, just mango coconut, and then you just start playing with that too. Another one that I didn't come across somebody else's recipe that I've done this with a lot is Lissa of Lissa's Raw Food Romance. Go over to her channel sometime and check out her French dressing. It's a very simple little dressing, but it's very light. It's basically a few ingredients. Got some dates for sweetness. I forget all the stuff in there. Got a little bit of apple cider vinegar. But one thing I found was I like that recipe as is, her French. But then I started playing with it just a little bit. Sometimes I like chili powder. Sometimes I started putting some chili powder in there, and I'm like, ooh, that's nice. And then I started putting tahini in there too. Sometimes tahini and chili powder. And I also played with the spices there. So that's where I've got another recipe that I can play with several different variations and versions of it. So what in effect happens is I get a couple or 3 recipes, and I've got maybe 12 recipes or so out of it. Okay, here's one that I made today, and I will show you just how I kind of stepped away from this, or how kind of I stepped past this original recipe. This is a recipe I got from a friend on Facebook, online, and I saw it and I'm like, wow. And it jumped out at me because you're going to see when I tell it to you, it's ridiculously simple. And that's what I like, because I see these recipes, is it like my brain, it's not me saying, making a conscious decision. As I'm looking at a recipe and I'm going down as the ingredients get longer and longer, my ADD kicks in and I just start losing interest. But when I see a short recipe that looks really good, very little effort, I'm all about it. So This is kind of, I guess you could say, a zucchini hummus. It's 2 peeled zucchini, 2 cloves of garlic, 1 tablespoon of tahini, and a little bit of smoked cumin. Now, I didn't have smoked cumin, so I just used a little bit of regular cumin, and I actually did put a little bit of smoked paprika in there. And as you can see, the consistency, I've made this a couple of times. Now, it would be, actually, that does look more like hummus. The last time I made it, I didn't peel the stuff, and it was kind of green. But it still tasted good. But this looks a little bit more like hummus. And the consistency is really nice. It's a nice, thick consistency. And this is new. This is fresh made. That's good. Thing about this recipe, though, I'll put it back in the refrigerator. I might eat it today, I might not. The consistency seemed to just keep getting, I made it a few weeks ago, and the consistency after 2 or 3 days was actually better. All right. So as soon as I saw this and made it, my brain started going, ooh, that's really, really good. I really enjoy that one. So what else could we do here? And my mind went to eggplant. And it started going to, I'm not sure it tasted, this version doesn't taste exactly like it, but it has a little sort of remnants of that, kind of a mix of baba ganoush and hummus. And I got an eggplant. Actually, you see a big chunk of it missing right now because this isn't, I don't know that this is 100% necessary, but I soaked the eggplant. The zucchini, has a little bit more moisture to it, but the eggplant, I was like, let's play with this a little bit. Let's soak it, marinate it in the window for the day like I do with the mushrooms, and then do something with it. So what I did is I peeled my eggplant, I chopped it up, cubed it up, put it in a bowl, and I made, like I put some lime juice in there. I put a little bit of Bragg's aminos in there. I put just a little bit of apple cider vinegar in there. I sprinkled a little smoked paprika on there and sprinkled a little chili powder on there. And I stir it up a little bit. And that's sitting in the windowsill, and I'll go by there during the day and I'll stir it, and the sun will get on it this afternoon. Now what I'm gonna do, if you hadn't already guessed, is I'm gonna jump from that to this. And all I'm going to do is use the same ingredients, but I'm going to use eggplant. So you use, and you're going to have to kind of, you'll have to play with the amount for yourself right there. I kind of eyeball it, but so this one called for 2 peeled zucchini. I'm probably going to use about half of this eggplant. So something like that. Maybe like, I don't know. You'll just have to play with this part because the eggplant I just do totally by eyeball. But you do peeled eggplant, 2 cloves of garlic, 1 tablespoon of tahini, and a little bit of smoked cumin in there. Now, if you do it like me, this had a little bit of, it has sort of a baba ganoush taste. I'll be honest, I don't know if it's because I marinated it like I'm doing or if it's just the eggplant itself, but I actually like the eggplant a little bit better. So you can do this a lot. A lot of my recipes out there, that's why I'm always hesitant to do a recipe book, because I do not ever want to knock off anybody else's stuff, and if I even remotely think of it. But I probably am not, because a lot of times I take pieces, like if I've got something in my mind, I might go to YouTube, for example, and search a certain dish, recipe, something I'd like to create or recreate. And then I'll see like 4 or 5 different videos with 4 or 5 different versions of it. Video 1, I see a couple of elements in there. Ooh, I really like that. Video 2, I see a few elements. Ooh, I really like that. All down the line of the videos I watch, and then usually I have some like a little tweak on it, and I'm like, but what if I did this with it? So that's a good way. Now, I'm not not being the Mr. Kitchen, Mr. Recipe, whatever. I'm going to start trying a little bit, but that next step is what friends of mine do that write recipe books sometimes, is you just, you start looking at the regular recipes, the cooked recipes, the animal product recipes, and you just think. I'm not that good at substituting. Some people are. Some people can take like a regular cookbook or a regular recipe book and just say, okay, well, I think this would work for this would work for that, blah, blah, blah. But it all goes back to what I say with the ice cream, with everything else. You just got to get in there and practice and experiment and do it over and over and over. And you pick up the skills and you get better doing it. You learn little things as you go. If you'll just play, you'll learn that the dates are good for thickening and sweetening. You'll learn zucchini blends and makes things nice and creamy. You'll just learn a lot of little tricks by getting in there, getting your hand, rolling your sleeves up and getting involved with it yourself. You don't have to be searching for an exact recipe that somebody has written out from somebody else. There's a lot of recipes I like to make of other people's, but probably the most satisfying food I eat is just some sort of a mishmash of something that I've created or stumbled across that I really enjoy myself. So get in the kitchen, play around, learn how to do this, learn how to feed yourself, and learn how to make this lifestyle a little bit more exciting. And then you won't always be asking me, well, I'm tired of eating the same thing all the time. Well, play. I got 2 great recipes right here, and another good idea is these have a really nice presentation to them, and they're compact. This would be great. I'd recommend both of them. This would be great just to take a little as a dip. You could take this to your next function or gathering. Make both of them. Make the zucchini, make the eggplant, make yourself up a nice tray of sliced cucumbers, maybe some cauliflower, maybe whatever vegetables you can think of, and have maybe some little carrot slices or whatever, celery, and just have it there. And you could take it to any party. You could maybe if you wanted to, you could sprinkle just a little bit of smoked paprika on top, get it really nice. You might even put a little I don't know, some sort of a leaf in there as garnish, but that'd be nice at a party. So great to take to a gathering. Little extra bonus for you. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.